friends, welcome to our first movement wellness class together. I'm Molly, I'm a physical therapist, a yoga teacher, and a pregnancy and postnatal corrective exercise specialist. That's a mouthful. But these classes are intended to be between 10 and 20 minutes. They're supposed to make your body feel really good. If you can do one every day, fantastic. They're that short length so that they're doable. I recommend them first thing in the morning, pre-workout, or anytime you just need some energy or to feel a little bit loosened up, a little bit mobilized. So they're a mixture of yoga, traditional yoga stretches, some physical therapy thrown in, some active mobility, fascial stretching, and then core and breath work. So they're really fun. I mean, depends what you think fun is, but they're really good for you. You shouldn't need any props, just your mat, and then we'll get started. This class, obviously all of them are very full body because we move as a unit, but this one has special emphasis on thoracic spine rotation, shoulder mobility, and then a little bit of hamstring work. But you can expect your whole body to feel nice and open. So grab your mat and we'll get started. Today we're going to begin laying down on our tummies in a prone position. Rest your hands on top of each other and then place your forehead down onto your hands. Bend your knees up and then just take some windshield wipers from side to side. Dropping your legs over to the left and then over to the right. Moving into some hip rotation and then just mobilizing through the lumbar spine, through your low back. And start to pay attention to the breath. Slow inhales and exhales out of your nose. Let it feel good, especially if it's first thing in the morning for you. Good. On your next time over to the right, go ahead and stretch them out long. And then prop up onto your elbows. Come into Sphinx Pose. So think about really magnetizing your elbows back towards your hip bones, but they're not actually going to slide backwards. At the same time, you're going to reach your chest forward and up. If you feel any pinching in the low back, bring your legs out wider or just don't lift up as much. Keep the back of your neck long. Fill up through the front, the sides, and the back of your chest with the breath. Maybe you feel a few cracks or pops. Should feel good. All right, then you're going to press into your left hand. Bring your right hand underneath. We call this thread the needle, so it's going to slide underneath your left shoulder. Press onto your right ear. And then first, I want you to keep both sit bones, so even your left hip bone here, grounded down as you press up slightly through your left fingertips. You can feel this stretch on the front of the left shoulder, left chest, or even on the back of the right shoulder. Full breaths. Keep grounding that left sit bone down. Good, and then open up all the way, roll onto your right hip, and then roll onto your back. Bend your left knee up and over, come into a spinal twist. So both shoulder blades are grounded down. Your left knee might be hovering, especially if it's early, like I said. Gaze can follow the left arm out to the side. And then place your right hand onto your left outer thigh. And we're just going to find some pulses down towards the ground. About 1 second per pulse. You'll feel this as the increased stretch through the left glute, left outer hip, but also through the spine as well. Let's do 5 more. Nice job. All right, roll all the way onto your back. Hug your left knee into chest, straighten your right leg out long. And then actively press your left heel up towards the sky. This is active hamstring mobility. And I want you to do 10 of these. So just bend it, curl your heel in towards your glute, and then straighten it out as much as you can. So if you're down here, Great start. I hope over time that you will find some improvement with these. We'll do 5 more. Keep that slow, steady breath. Good, and then find the spot where you can find a straight leg. So you might need to drop down a little bit, find what angle works for you. And then engage your core, pull navel into spine, and take 20 pulses. So pulling your toes back towards your nose. Big fascial stretch on the whole back line of the body. If you want, you can curl your chin towards your chest, lift your head up. That will increase the sensation. Let's do 10 more pulses. Good, and release, pull left knee into chest, give it a hug, and then roll to your right, back onto your belly, and then find your Sphinx Pose again. So like I said, maybe not fun, depends what fun means to you, but it'll help you move better in the long run. Also, if you roll off your mat, totally fine, I will be as well. So from Sphinx Pose, if you do want to meander to the right edge of your mat, go ahead and do that. Press through your right palm, thread the needle, slide your left hand underneath right shoulder, left ear rests. Tent onto your right fingertips, ground down through the right hip bone, and then open chest up to the right. See if you can imagine the space between each rib expanding. Two more breaths. Good, and then roll it all the way onto your left hip, all the way onto your back. Hug right knee into chest. Actually, not yet. We'll slide it over into a spinal twist. So right knee into chest and then over to the left side. Both shoulder blades are grounded. Your right arm is reaching out to the right side. Yummy back stretch. Slow breaths, and then place your left hand on the outside of your right thigh. Go ahead and take those pulses down towards the ground with your right knee. Feeling this more along the right outer hip, and I feel it up in my thoracic spine as well. Good. Let's do 5 more. Perfect. Hug right knee into chest, roll all the way into your back this time, and then stamp your right heel up towards the sky. Bend it back again, stamp it up. So really engaging the front of our quads and then stretching through the back of the right hamstrings. Let's do 5 more. Curl your toes back towards your nose. Good, and then find wherever you can be with a straight leg on that right side. Option to tuck chin and chest, almost like you're doing a sit-up, and then we'll do those pulses, about 20 of them. Your hip flexors and your quads will be talking to you, as will the back of your legs. Back line, stretching. 5 more. Woo, you can say hello to your core too. Hug right knee into chest. Hug left knee into chest. Rock and roll up your spine. And then on the 3rd time or so, come up to a seated position, facing the long edge of your mat. And then we'll find a bear sit. So, soles of the feet are on the mat, hands are behind you for support, and your feet are a little wider than hip width distance. And just like we did the windshield wipers, we're gonna find some hip rotation, dropping knees right to left a few times. Good. Perfect. So now we're gonna move into a nice shoulder opener, spine opener, side body opener with the hip rotation. So we're going to do a lot of swimming arm movements. As you drop your knees to the right, swim your, like a backstroke. Right arm back, left arm forward so it touches your right knee. That's that body part. And then your right arm is going to come to a backstroke again, lower onto the elbow, and then reach left arm overhead. So if you need to get the hang of this, just watch me for a round or 2. So we're lowering onto our elbow, big side body stretch. Inflate the left lung with your breath. And then as we come back up, press through right hand. Left hand comes to right knee. Right arm, forward strokes, freestyles. And then we're going to move to the other side. So drop the knees to the left. Left arm, right arm to left knee. Big backstroke through the left arm. And then lower onto the elbow as you reach right arm overhead. Couple breaths here on this first round. If dropping down to the elbow is a lot, just find a little bend in your elbow. Anything where you feel some opening along the front of the right hip and the right side body. Good. And then we'll sit back up. Right hand to left knee, left hand to center. Drop the knees over. Right hand behind your right hip. Left hand to right knee. Right arm reaches back even more. Drop down onto the elbow and then stretch left arm overhead. One breath in, one breath out. Push through your right hand. Come back so you're facing over your right kneecap. And then we'll switch to the other side. Left arm backstroke, right arm to left knee. Bigger left arm backstroke, lower onto the elbow, right arm overhead. Take one breath in. Take one breath out, push through your left hand, come back so you're facing over your left knee. On this next round, we're going to add a little forward active mobility stretch. So come to the other side, knees drop to the right, backstroke through the right arm, left hand to right knee. Right arm reaches all the way back behind you, drop down onto the elbow, left arm overhead. Inhale, and then exhale, push through your right hand, come to fold over your right knee. Good, press down through the outer side of that leg, rise back up, switch sides. Knees drop to the left, left arm back, right arm to left knee. Drop down onto left elbow, right arm overhead. Puff up through the right lung. Exhale, push. Lean your body out over your left knee. Come back up. And then we'll do one more on each side. Knees drop to the right. Right hand back. Left hand, right knee. Big backstroke through the right arm as you lower down onto the elbow. Stretch left arm overhead. Inhale. And then exhale, press. Fold over right knee. Good. Other side, knees drop to the left. Left arm back. Right arm, left knee. Backstroke through the left arm, lower onto the elbow. Right arm overhead. Inhale. Exhale, press through left palm. Fold over left knee. Engage, press the outer part of the shin into the mat. Rise back up and come to center. Good. Hug your knees. Just take one. You can cat cow here. Perfect. And then we're going to find kind of a straddle, half child's pose stretch. So your right knee is going to be bent. Your left leg is straightening out to the side. Both hands are planted. Right toes are tucked. We're just going to rock forward and backward. Nice inner thigh stretch on the left side. 2, 5, 6, 7 of them. Left toes are pointing in the same direction as your fingertips. A couple more. Good, and then plant right hand down. Inhale, sweep left fingertips high. Exhale, thread the needle. Left hand underneath right shoulder. Left ear drops to the mat or just lowers in any capacity. Inhale, open up to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. 3 more. Breathe in, expand. Breathe out, crunch everything in. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Good, find your half straddle, half child's pose, whatever we want to call it. 3 more rocks. And then plant your right hand at the top of your mat. Keep your legs as they are, except point your left toes to the back of the mat. Inhale, reach your left arm overhead. You can place a block underneath your right palm if you need, or just adjust your stance. And then left hand to the back of your skull. Elbows pointing up to the sky. Breathe in. Breathe out, lower left elbow down towards right thumb. Your hips are going to shift back towards your right heel. Inhale, press your hip bones forward. Elbow to the sky. Exhale, elbow to right thumb, hips shift back onto right heel. 3 more, breathe in, and breathe out. 2 more. Final one. Good. All right, come back to the long edge of your mat and we'll switch sides. Left knee is bent underneath you, right leg is stretched out straight. Fingertips and right toes are pointed towards the long edge of your mat, and then just rock back. Maybe as you breathe out, you sink back. As you breathe in, you stretch forward. But find what feels good for you. Couple more. Okay, keep your left hand planted. Inhale, sweep right fingertips to sky. Exhale, thread the needle underneath your left shoulder. Drop down towards right ear. Inhale, sweep it open. Exhale, curl it under. 3 more with your breath. Trying to keep your hips pretty stable. And just rotating through the spine. If it's not perfect, it's better than not moving, so keep doing what you're doing. Okay, good. Now left fingertips to the back of your mat, right toes to the front of your mat. Inhale, stretch, right fingertips overhead so your bicep is framing your ear. And then hand to back of skull, elbow to sky. Breathe in, press your hips forward. Breathe out, right elbow to left knee, hips sink back towards your left heel. 5 of these. Inhale to open up. Exhale to close it down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feel this a ton on the front of my right hip as I scoop my back pockets forward. Exhale, lower. Last one. Breathe in. And breathe out. Nice job. All right, walk to the front of your mat. Come into an Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need. And then interlace your fingers behind the back of your head. And just find some pulses down. So pretend you're curling your elbows up towards your belly button. Play around with the angle of your knees. This is a big sensation. I feel it most on the back of my neck and upper spine. But it kind of depends where you hold your tension. Most people feel this a lot in their hamstrings. We have about 20 more seconds. Little pulses. Again, if you need to start with more of a bend, you're still going to find some benefit. Good job. Keep breathing for 5 more seconds. Good. Exhale, release. Let your arms dangle. Shake out your head. Shake out your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, hands to shins. Exhale, fold down. 2 more. Inhale, halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold and release. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Press through your feet. Rise. And you're ready to go. So that was our first movement wellness class. Let's settle down. Let's take 1 more breath together, just as a thank you for our bodies and how they're able to move, and as a little pledge to keep improving and working on them. So we'll take an inhale together and an exhale. Good job. I hope you liked this class. I hope you enjoyed the mixture of some active stretches, some yoga, some pulses, a little bit of everything. If you did, please share it with others and then subscribe so you see the next class, and I'll see you next time.